Hi there, Mark Jaben here, Medical Director for the Haywood County Health Department. Let's talk about this pandemic. Seems like this was the best attire for the week. And it's time for the weekly update. The summary is that COVID cases were not the only thing flooding around western North Carolina this week. And how do we now look this week compared to other places that saw their Delta surge before us? So please share this with someone you care about. For the U.S., continued increases almost everywhere, and note now the increasing red in the Northeast and Upper Midwest as they catch up with everyone else. A month ago, Delta accounted for about 20% of new cases. The next week, 50%. The next week, 80%. Now accounting for 99% of new cases. And if there's any good news here for the U.S., it's that Florida seems to have crested, and rates there, although still super high at 100 per 100,000 population, are substantially down from their high of 170 per 100,000 population. Mississippi still going up and now has the highest rate in the country. For our neighbors, yet another substantial increase for the fourth week in a row. Tennessee, the entire state in red now. And for Georgia and South Carolina, each with only one county not in the red. North Carolina, another substantial increase this week, only 5 counties not in the red. And as you can see, cases still rising, but note the rate of new cases has slowed. Deaths, however, are now starting to show up as we expect several weeks after the beginning of a surge, and there was a substantial increase across the state this week. Western North Carolina, everyone remains in the red zone. And again, remember the threshold for red is above 25 per 100,000 population. Nobody is below 40. As far as testing, everyone well above the 5% threshold now, some 3 and 4 times that number. And many with substantial increases again this week, nobody lower. Haywood County looks to have slowed the rate of increase. Unfortunately, this is a reporting effect. There actually was an acceleration in cases, especially at the end of this week. And in the last 3 days of this week, Wednesday through Friday, we saw 39, 48, and 44 new cases each day. Now that's equivalent on a per 100,000 population basis to 63, 80, and 75. And I'll remind you that the peak last winter was 74. In July, we added the next 100 cases in roughly 12 days. In August, it's taking just 4. Deaths, 3 additional Haywood County residents were reported this week, and that's so far the highest monthly number since February, and August is not over. Haywood Regional Medical Center has been averaging above 20 COVID-related admissions this week, including 4 to 5 ICU admissions and some now on ventilators. Now, you may recall that I've been looking to the experience in other places to see if we can get an idea where this is all headed. This graph compares the UK with Missouri with Haywood County. And as you can see, our upslope is similar to the UK, which had a steep upslope and a just as steep downslope. However, their downslope has now stalled out well before it got back down to baseline and is on the way back up from there. But we also look like Missouri, which is still on its long, slow upslope after 3 months. Haywood County now has a steeper upslope than Missouri and has now surpassed Missouri. In truth, neither is what we want to see, and we look like both. No good, as my Eastern European friends say, and you can see my buddy is even more topsy-turvy now than last week. So here's the takeaway. COVID is not the most prominent thing this week in Haywood County. On Tuesday, you may have seen the press conference where Emergency Management, Health Department, and Hospital updated the community on how serious healthcare systems are stretched right now. But on that day, another disaster was unfolding for Haywood County. And you know, the first rule of disaster management is don't contribute to the disaster. For us, this is not just about COVID concerns for those doing relief work and those displaced from their homes, but other possible illnesses like tetanus or hepatitis. Are you up to date on those vaccinations? The outpouring of support and caring is not unusual for Haywood County. We've seen before how we all rally around a good cause. I only hope we can all bring the same commitment to help and do our part to rally around the cause of tamping down this virus. Because if you get infected and must isolate or quarantine if exposed, you can't be out there helping others. So be well and be careful on so many fronts, especially right now.